thank you so much for joining us on our 87th edition of Lunch Out Loud Ottawa. My name is Nick Pachuski.
I'm Andrew Miller.
And of course, we're the podcast that talks to the people, places, events that make this city the incredible city that it is. And before we get to Brad from Brew Donkey on this lovely Saturday morning.
That's my donkey noise.
Why don't we check this out?
Yeah.
What's up, y'all? Zach from the Lionyls here. A big Lionel greeting on behalf of the rest of the band. We're coming to you live and direct from Lunch Out Loud. Now, for those of you who don't know us, we're all about keeping it real. We want to bring you music that is fresh and funky, smooth in all the right places, and edgy when it has to be. We dig the classic stuff. Motown, funk, rock and roll, music that is truly timeless. Our unique brand of rock and soul puts a new spin on all that good stuff to give it a place in the modern world. If you want to catch us live in action, we're grooving next Friday, September 26th at the ELE Music Festival on U Ottawa campus. After that, it's the live 88.5 Big Money Shot Final. Go to your calendar, mark October 17th with a big red X. We're bringing the funk to Ritual Nightclub. This is not to be missed. Much Lionel love.
So much. So we're here with Brand Campo. We're recording this on a Saturday instead of our normal Thursday because we are going on our first Brew Donkey tour.
Yeah.
So this is going to be a lot of exciting. It's
beer day.
It's going to be a good little beer day. So we're here with Brad Campo, the founder of Brew Donkey in Ottawa. Thank you so much for allowing us to join this tour. I've wanted to do it for a long time.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure.
And I think it's excellent for Ottawa. I think it's an awesome idea. And from reviews of friends that have been on it, they've all loved it. So
it's great. It sure beats driving to breweries and getting hammered and having to drive back. So
that's our main goal is to not have hammered people on the road,
exactly.
Unless they're on the bus. It occasionally does happen that people do go beyond, let's say,
beyond tasting.
Yeah. And we're currently printing some yellow cards and some red cards.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
We always make sure people are safe, though. We've got bottles of water and stuff.
What kind of bus are we going to be taking today?
The bus today is going to be a full-size bright orange yellow school bus.
Okay,
we like the bright orange yellow school buses because have you ever tried to be really social with a bus full of people on a coach bus?
Yeah, those seats are pretty high.
Yeah, they're high. It's about privacy.
And then you got everybody jumping around and running around.
You're sitting on your knees and you're like peeking over to see your friends. Well, school bus is not like that. You've got your arms on top of the seat and you're looking left, you're looking right. Everybody's around you. You can see everybody. Everybody becomes like a social network.
Okay, so that's excellent. I like that. So first, like we do with all of our guests, we like to get to know a bit about you, how you came to be in Ottawa. Okay. I guess some of your favorite spots in Ottawa, and then what ultimately led you to coming up with the concept of Brew Donkey.
Sure. Favorite spots wise, I can't. As a retired vegan, my favorite restaurant currently is and should always be Murray Street Kitchen.
Okay.
A retired vegan.
Yeah, I went to vegetarianism.
Oh, okay,
but
good.
I used to be a
Good
vegan, and I'm not promoting veganism. I'm not promoting veganism. Dawn, don't worry. Dawn and Jim, Dawn challenge. Anyway, but no, I love what Steve can do with making vegetarian. And when I was vegan, he made amazing vegan meals.
Really?
For me,
and a lot of people don't know that. They think of Murray Street Kitchen, they're just going to be
Pig's
getting.
Head.
And I think a lot of people, a lot of restaurants, they will accommodate these days. They're not going to, if you go in there with a group of people, they're not going to turn somebody away. I'm sure they could probably accommodate and do some sort of meal that will,
The thing I like most about doing, like going to higher end restaurants is figuring out, can they make it?
Yeah.
Or can they make me happy, not just the people they always make happy, which is meat.
Yeah.
And great chefs like Steve and some of the other chefs that I've gotten food from over the years that I was going out and eating that way as a vegan. So many loved the challenge of it, and so many, not that many, hated it.
I guess
and,
it depends on how busy it is.
Well, yeah, absolutely. I'd always make a reservation on one of the occasions I visited a restaurant and let them know what I was, and then I'd always come in like free flying on the other one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just see how it goes.
So Murray Street for one spot, any other?
Murray Street, yeah, absolutely. For beer, Arrow and Loon I go to quite a bit. Their tap selection is great for beer.
Where's that located again?
Bank and Fifth.
Bank and Fifth.
Glebe, great selection there.
Great patio.
And for other places to drink, the patio's great.
Yeah.
The indoor one's going to be really rocking in this.
Oh, they're changing it? Oh, yeah. Well, it's always there.
Yeah,
Facing
exactly.
the court, yeah.
Yeah, feels like you're in a tropical climate because it's a courtyard.
Exactly.
But for actual places to sit and relax, most of the the bars at the breweries that we go to, they're great to sit and chat and communicate with brewers, owners. You're actually chatting with the staff of the people that make the amazing beer
For sure.
that we all love.
I'm excited to see Beyond the Pale once it's done, the new one. That's going to be really nice.
Spot.
Should be done soon.
So where are you originally from? Are you originally from Ottawa, or did you
I moved
come
here
recently?
in 2003 after having traveled around for about 5 years around East Coast and Ontario. But I grew up in Windsor, Ontario, down
nice.
in the south western chunk of Ontario there, as far south as you can go, really.
So are you a fan of most Detroit teams?
I am not really a big old sports fan.
Oh, well, that's all right.
Yeah, if I had been, I might have stayed in Windsor a lot longer. Being so close to Detroit with the Tigers and stuff. My brother's a huge fan of the Tigers,
There you
so
go.
he'd love your hat.
Okay.
He'll
Yeah,
probably
there he
try
goes.
to take
But
it.
just
There
one
you
of
go.
our friends of the show there, Yan, that he owns Normal Clothing. He's originally from
Windsor.
he's
Lot of
originally from
expats.
Windsor, yeah. And he says there's lots of fun stuff to do there. They said they used to go fishing
Right.
in a big lake there, and they'd pull out all sorts of things, shopping carts and.
Shopping carts would be probably better than eating fish from any of the lakes down
I
in
wouldn't
Windsor.
doubt it.
Yeah.
So I guess, how did Brew Donkey come to be? That's
I
why we're here today.
put in an application to work at Bowles All Natural Brewing Company
Oh, nice.
as their event manager, and I didn't get the job, regardless of how many favors I tried to call in, and I actually at one point even found Steve Beauchesne on a patio at Murray Street's anniversary party last year. And I introduced myself and told him I was up for the job, and I put in an application. I still didn't get the job. They hired a great guy; he's doing a great job. But I was so let down that I didn't get a job in the craft beer industry because I really wanted to leave being self-employed and move into working in a new industry and learn it. That I said, well, I have to find something to do. I have to find something to do with myself in the craft beer community and industry. I didn't want to open a brewery.
Yeah.
I don't want to be in production anymore. My last business was baking cookies. You were a producer. You made the product, you sold the product. That wasn't what I wanted to do anymore. So didn't want to open a brewery. So found an ancillary operation. Help people get beer or get to beer. So I was in Vancouver walking along the seawall, and I should have been looking for seals, but instead I was on my phone reading the AGCO guidelines on liquor delivery service.
Oh, cool.
And the initial idea was a liquor delivery service. So Brew Donkey was developed as a home delivery service, dial-a-bottle style, but for craft breweries. So instead of you driving to 4 breweries in a day to get the beer you like, we go and we do the driving for a flat fee.
That's a great idea. Yeah.
And that was going to have a kind of a service that we provided to our customers that told people about the new breweries that were opening by bringing them to them on tours. I thought, my customers will love this tours that we do for them. Well, now my customers are the tour patrons because the tours have exploded, and they eventually find out about the delivery service.
Yeah.
So it's the other way.
Well, that's great. I mean, just perusing your website, I noticed a couple of breweries that I didn't know existed either. So, and I mean, I'm a pretty big beer guy.
So which ones did you?
There was one, Whitewater. Yeah, Whitewater was one I didn't recognize before. and then one that's brand new. I noticed there was no beer in stock for it. I can't think of the name off the top of my head though.
Dominion.
Yes, a bicycle brew of sorts. Yeah,
near the train yards.
Yeah, it's going in. They're opening next. From today's date, 1 week.
Okay, so Saturday.
Yeah,
wow.
Saturday. Yeah.
Saturday, okay, and yeah, they've been featured in the paper. It looks very nice.
That would be why there was no beer available.
Yeah, opening September 20th for dates that could be sliding on depending on airing date.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
We air on the Thursday, so we'll be able to do that.
So were you a big beer guy? Obviously, this is something you really. Why did you really want to get into the craft brewing
I actually
industry?
didn't start drinking until I was 21.
That's good. Good for you.
I'm not American, but
But you followed the rules.
no, I followed some odd rules that I had as a youth, youngin. I was like straight edge, but not. I don't know. I didn't drink until I was 21. And, went into college and started drinking bad beer. After college, came to Ottawa. Spent a good amount of time drinking what I thought was amazing beer. So crafty. I was so crafty drinking this, Hoegaarden and whatever it was. And Hoegaarden is good. It's great, delicious beer. But I got some amazing barrel aged beer from a local brewery that it just blew my mind. So my fridge, after that point, stopped having the Mexican 12-pack from the Dep in Quebec, Tecate and Corona and all these things, and I had to start buying local fresh stuff. So I was buying Kijisipi, Shack Black, and getting growlers of whatever I could get my hands on, but I was always driving around to get it myself. So that's kind of another reason why we decided to open the delivery service, because I got a vehicle, but I've got friends who didn't have a vehicle, and they were asking me to get stuff for them anyway. But that was kind of how I got transferred in a good barrel-aged version of a hoppy beer. And after, it was only about 4 years ago now. So.
How many new breweries do we have in the region in the past 4 years?
In the last 4 years, I would say about 8.
8 new ones.
In 4 years, there's, we've gotten Dominion City, we got Big Rig, Beyond the Pale, Dominion City I mentioned, we're getting Bicycle, the Covered Bridge Brewing Company. Ashton wasn't even brewing back then.
Yeah.
I would say 80% of what's currently on our website has been in the last 4 years.
Because pretty much some of the pioneers, I guess you could say, in the area. I guess Bose, Clock Tower.
Yeah, little known fact: Clock Tower's been brewing since '96.
Yeah,
96. They've been brewing since we were in 96. Where were you?
Yeah,
I was in Guelph.
Yeah.
I was out near Cornwall.
I was in high school.
Yeah, me too.
I couldn't even legally drink
But
back then.
I think the reason a lot of people might not have known that is because a lot of their names aren't like Clock Tower wasn't in the title, right? Like some of the names, like say Kolsch.
Yeah, the Kolsch. Yeah.
So it's just some brands that they wouldn't. People would think, like when I originally started drinking Kolsch, I thought it was an import from Europe somewhere, just with the name. You know what I mean? So
Kolsch.
Yeah.
Their branding's been great for years, and last August they started retailing. So they joined the retail movement of breweries selling their products.
So now you can go in and get a growler at the
in their actual stores.
Yeah.
So the way everybody has this hate on for what the LCBO is doing with their control.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, it's a very limited opinion, that although it's hindering some parts of the industry, what it is creating is retail environments. Breweries are creating spaces and places for you to come in and interact with their staff who love their product, or with the owners and the brewers, because they have to. For them to have a direct, immediate, and personable connection with any of their clients, they can't do it in the dépanneur. They can't they're not getting into the LCBO in their first year of business. Yeah. They're having to create a space where you can interact with them. And for us, as a Brew Donkey Tour company, we want to bring you to those places. So the way LCBO is situated right now, making people produce these spaces to interact, it's creating essentially destinations for us. And the more they make, the merrier I am.
Yeah. And at least the LCBO now, they do have a section where it says Ontario Craft Brews. I think at least having some there, it kind of